Have you got tissues handy? Have you?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Listen, before I do the actual speeches, Bobby, thanks for coming as well, because the more people, the more important here for this day. Because it's a shame Pinky couldn't be here, but at least we got her speech, and that's the most important thing, that she's able to speak here today. Yeah. So we're all, it goes without saying, we're very proud of you, what you've achieved in your life and what you've done for us, but we're all going to tell you that in our own special way today. Okay? So this is from Pinky first of all, and came just in the nick of time. So well done, Dua, I should say. So this is from Pinky. So, well now, where to start? Dad, I actually had my doubts for a while back there that you would even make it to this day. You seemed to give up a little bit when Mum was ill, but as always, you got through that extremely sad and trying time, and here we all are today. You and I have had a bloody tough time getting here, though lots of ups and downs. Lots of mistakes made, but the important thing is that we learn from them and move on, and I think you and I have done that amazingly well. You have always forgiven my mistakes, big and small, and shown me that only a father who truly loves his children has the capacity to do that. I'm going myself. Oh. That alone makes you the world's greatest dad in my book. A dad who, with his wisdom, his honesty, his somewhat sharp tongue, and those looks that could make a grown man feel like a 5-year-old, has always provided for his family and put them first. My fondest memories of you are when we all used to go to Roshan Park. Oh, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
One big happy family, with Mum's amazing picnic food to accompany us. I remember you as the picture of health and happiness, lying on your back on the grass, hands behind your head, whilst we played all around you. Happy, happy times. Also, memories of you in the laundrette in Cardiff.
Oh, God.
I was too young for that.
Yeah, me too.
With your beer belly and extremely dazzling looks, which haven't faded one little bit. I'm so glad I could be here today. Shame. But she is here in a way.
Yeah.
To share your happiness in having your family around you. Some of them are missing, but I'm sure you are all in their thoughts today. How could you not be? You are without a doubt a fighter, and I'm pretty sure you'll see a few more birthdays yet. It would be hard to sum up all the magic moments you have given me in one short speech. It would be silly of me to even try, but you should know that even though we only ever say it on days like today or Father's Day, I love you every single day of the year.
Lovely.
That's from Pinky.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, I had to follow that one up. I guess I'll try.
Okay, Ziad, nice and clean with them.
Yeah.
Nice and loud.
Okay. Ziad, just give up a 1 minute with them, okay?
Yeah.
Don't sit here. Ready?
Okay. Abba, you're more than a grandfather to me. You're an inspiration, an icon, a super grandfather, filled with unparalleled wisdom no one else could even think of or knew existed. Although I'm not great at maths, but if I turn out to be a 10th of the man and wonderful grandfather you are, I will be a very happy man. Albert, thank you for the love you have given to me, and I am truly grateful to God that I have been able to be a part of your life.
Bless your heart.
Albert, you are the best grandfather I could have ever hoped for. We would all like to say one thing. Happy 80th birthday, Albert, and I hope that you get whatever you desire in life, because you are a great man, father, and grandfather who truly deserves it. Thank you, Albert, for being a part of my life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow,
Ready?
Yes.
Abba, the memories I have of you growing up are endless. Here are a few that pop to my mind. I will never forget the way you made the Argos catalogue so exciting, no matter how many times I looked at it. Your commentary when watching TV is more entertaining than any TV program, whether it be EastEnders or a Star Plus drama. Abba, I love coming home from a long day and watching Countdown with you, and playing along on those special days that you were visiting us. Such simple things, but such sweet memories. From being a little girl and sitting on your knee, to growing up and sitting next to you, my love for you has done nothing but grow. Au revoir, having you in my life, even just on the other end of the phone, provides such a feeling that no words can describe it. Happy 80th birthday, au revoir, and I love you.
Okay, Dad, when I sat down to write this, I couldn't make up my mind of what to mention, as there were so many memories that touch my heart. From watching the two Ronnies as a family every week, to accidentally on purpose dropping the bonbons whilst filling the sweet jars up. Dad, you have showered me with your love, wisdom and patience. Good things come to those who wait. You would always say this to me when I was down or things weren't going well in my life. And you were always right. I am so very lucky to have you as my wonderful dad. We are all so lucky that today we are celebrating your 80th birthday. Inshallah, there will be many more to come.
Very nicely. Actually, I hope you're all sitting comfortably because this is a long one. I don't know if I can read all this now. Okay. Let's try and lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
What can I say about Dad? He's such a varied individual, from the most fun-loving person I've ever known to the most serious and strict person I've ever known, with eyebrows that once lowered would be more effective than any laxative. Classic Dad moments will live with me forever. Like when you would tell a customer in the shop that the item they need is behind them by saying, "On your back, please." "By your bums, my love." All the time, Pinky got told off in Brackley, followed by a swift kick up the arse. "Go to mums." All the classic insults he would throw at people who would cross him in the shop or on the road. You might remember the, "But you bloody monkey." That was a classic. That was a classic. In all seriousness, it's not very difficult for me to remember all the things that make me want to be thankful for our Dad's life. His hand has touched almost everything I do, and not a day goes by that I do not notice how he's affected me. It's going to be a long evening. Sometimes when I'm doing something, I hear myself say, "Dad would be really proud of me if he saw this." There are other times, though, when I know what I would do would make Dad mad. I can't help it, it must be something in the genes, I think. Remembering is a very gentle pursuit because it brings the healing touch of time to all our recollections. I remember some of the things over which Dad and I argued. There were times when I thought we were born to be on opposite sides of everything. But with the passage of time, we can now look back, forgive and forget. Many families only get together on sad occasions and never take an opportunity to gather for more joyful parties like this.
Yeah.
That's a shame, because it's at functions like this that I believe we really reaffirm our family life. There's a saying that everybody wants to live a long time, but nobody wants to grow old. We all know, of course, that though Dad is 80 today, he still retains the enthusiasm and the lively interest that keeps him young at heart. So although he may be blowing out 80 candles today, Dad will be equally at home in the company of children, teenagers and adults of all ages. I think Dad really is ageless. Possibly the best gift Dad was ever given was the gift of a wonderful sense of humour. He has learned to laugh at life and at himself. Dad does not take himself too seriously, and as a result he's great fun, and time spent with him is a great pleasure. Dad has a wealth of experience, which he is very happy to share with us, and when he shares it in such an entertaining way, it makes time fly. I think your grandkids will know about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Today I'm sure he's asking himself, where have all those years gone? I'm sure he's remembering incidents that have happened, people he once knew or loved. Some of his thoughts will be sad ones, but most, knowing Dad, will be pleasant thoughts. In his memory, I think those bygone days were really the good old days. Now getting older has its downside, of course. You may get a little more feeble, a little more deaf, and Dad would probably say he's become more discerning in his old age. Nowadays, he only hears what he wants to hear, and I have to admit there's a lot to be said for that. I think we all know that Dad always listens to any worry we have, and he's always willing to help us out in any way he can. Over the years, he's meant many things to each one of us, and we have meant different things to him. We may have annoyed him, we may have entertained him, and we may have made him feel happy or sad. Whatever we did or said, though, Dad still cared for each one of us in his own very special way. Dad will be the first to admit that age brings a few problems with it. He will admit that he would find breakdancing hard going, for example. He would admit that his feet seem to be getting further away every year, yet Dad wears his age with dignity and he's retained his sense of humour. And we all like someone who can make us laugh. More than that, though, we all love people who can laugh at themselves, and Dad does just that. That's one of the things that makes him such good company. The fact that he's lived so long, seen and experienced so much, is of course another. Dad, I think, is history in real life. If he was in a museum, he'd be surrounded by gadgets to ensure he was never stolen. Today I envy Dad. I genuinely envy Dad. I envy all that he's seen in life. I envy his breadth of experience and his depth of knowledge. Above all, though, I envy his contentment. Dad has always had the gift of being content with whatever life has given him. Perhaps that's the secret of his long life. Dad has had the same worries, the same stresses as everyone else here. He just treats them differently. Dad is tolerant enough to know that railing against fate doesn't do any good. He's learned the secret of going along with life, and the result is, I think, a very happy man. You've given a whole lot to all of us, Dad, and graced our lives with your powerful presence, your wisdom, and your love. I noticed that all our speeches mention Dad's wisdom. We hope to enjoy your wit and wisdom for many more years to come. I don't know if you know, but there's a saying that family faces are like magic mirrors. It goes on to say that looking at people who belong us, we see the past, present, and future. If, when we're looking, we see some of Dad in us, then I think our future looks good. I really feel humble in the face of my father's life. When I think of the breadth and depth of your experience, I know that, as of now, I know nothing yet. There's a temptation to think that parenting and the contribution of parents comes to an end when their kids become adults. But Dad knows better than this. There's also an expectation that the flow of giving, caring and love turns, and that it's now the kids' turn to do all the caring. The celebration of a parent's birthday gives us an opportunity to recognise that parents never stop parenting. They never stop loving, never stop giving. The wishing of life into their young doesn't ever stop. Each birthday gives us an opportunity to recognise and celebrate another year of what parents mean in our lives. As adult sons and daughters, we sometimes complain that our parents never allow us to grow up. They keep treating us like kids. Secretly, though, we love this. We love the attention, the interference and the advice. If they didn't do it, we'd be devastated. We'd think they didn't care anymore. Today, Dad, we celebrate another year of your life. We celebrate your concern for us and that you show in many different ways. Your way of loving us is to tell us that we should open an ISA or a TESA or change bank account or check your mortgage rate. And none of these things are exactly sentimental, but they show us how much you care. Occasionally, too, you show us your concern by telling us off for not meeting your high standards. We don't really enjoy that, but we usually know deep down that what Dad says is for our own good. Dad never interferes, but he's always there like the still voice of conscience. Almost done. I often wonder what Dad was like as a baby. It's hard to imagine today that once his parents celebrated his first appearance in the world as a tiny screaming infant. Today we celebrate a slightly older version of this baby. We also celebrate, though, what he has become since and what he's done with his life and what he's done for us. All of us make a difference when we come into the world. The very fact of us taking up space in itself makes a difference. The quality and quantity of the contribution depend on many factors, many of which are dictated by chance, although a huge part of what we contribute to the world depends on each one of us and the choices we make. When we were younger, We didn't appreciate some of the things Dad chose for us. Sometimes his choices in regard to the amount of homework we did or the TV programs we watched weren't appreciated either. However, his choice of surprise was always wonderful. Sometimes he'd nonchalantly announce an unexpected trip for fish and chips, or the zoo, or Roshan Park. Today we celebrate Dad's choices. He chose to be a generous and loving father. We know that many of the options you took were only for us, and that in taking those options, you probably let go of some of your own hopes and dreams. If we never said thank you, Dad, then we say it today. There's a whole lot to celebrate, a whole lot to be thankful for, and a whole lot of parenting and loving to anticipate in the years ahead, inshallah. So here's to our Father who worked for us all, who gave us all he could give. We wish you a happy birthday, dear Dad. And may Allah bless you as long as you live, here and in the afterlife. Happy birthday. Oh, God. I'm just taking this opportunity while we're all together just to say a few extra things.
Just take a minute.
So, Mum, this little speech, little one, is written especially for you, and it's in recognition of the bravery, strength and determination you showed during your battle with cancer. When I first heard that news from your mouth on the phone, I was so dazed and confused and really angry. Why my mum? What did I do to deserve this? And as a control freak, you know I'm a control freak. I was just at a loss as to how I handle this now, especially being so far away. I didn't know what to do, and that's not a position I'm used to finding myself in. As things progressed, with appointments and developments on your condition, I became even more desperate. Although I hid this well and I never really showed you and Dad how I was feeling. My thoughts were that you needed to have us all be as brave and strong as possible in order for you to come to terms with what happened. I don't think our strong emotions would have helped you and Dad at all. It goes without saying, and I'm telling you all this for the first time today, that should things have not worked out, Mum, and the cancer was to reach further stages, thank Allah it didn't, but we were ready to leave Dubai. We were going to rent a place in Norfolk and live off my savings for 6 months while I looked for a job. Needless to say that we were all thrilled when you got the all clear. But I was also slightly disappointed that I didn't have that justification to come back to. Could you get me a tissue? Someone. You know how much I miss you and Dad, which is evident, I think, in the 2 to 3 times a week that we call and speak for an hour each time.
Yeah.
Thanks, my dad. But you need to understand, once and for all now, that I don't do this for you or so you can see the kids. I do it purely for myself, this thing. It doesn't feel right or good if we don't talk. And it's so true that distance really makes the heart grow fonder. In my soon-to-be 38 years, my world's only been rocked twice. Genuinely, I've only felt my earth move twice. Once was when Jannat was born, firstborn, which was a positive move. And the second was when you told me of your cancer. I'll never forget that day. I felt so weak and useless, I just wanted to fix it like your laptop or telly, but I couldn't. Your way of dealing with this was so admirable, Mum. And I know for sure that you wouldn't have been able to do it without having Dad by you every step of the way. He was like a rock to you, I think. I want to recognise someone else in all this. You, Deepa. She was faced with a huge issue.
Yeah.
And she was and still is the only child in the country. She took on the responsibility with ease, control, sophistication and love. She was there for you when it mattered the most, and made a potentially disastrous domestic situation manageable.
It's okay.
Right, and I also want to thank you as well for all you did and you do for Mum and Dad. As the only son living so far away, it's so comforting, you have no idea, to know that you're there for them in times of emergency. Dima, as the son who should have been there as well, I thank you now from the bottom of my heart. I relied on you and you came through for us as a family, and I really look up to you for that. There's your compliment. Finally, Pinky, if she was here I would have said this. We haven't spoken for years, but we find ourselves together today for this reunion, as we did for the last reunion. I just want to say from my own mouth that I do of course think about you and your conditions and what you and your family go through. I'm also in total awe of how you seem to deal with it all, and so proud of all your daughters, you have no idea. I just hope and pray that my children are as capable as yours when they reach young adulthood. Congratulations to you and Asif on raising confident, capable and level-headed individuals. Finally, and this is finally now, each day I think about the future of this family, and I shudder, genuinely scared to think of the time when Mum and Dad will leave us for a better place. I want you all to know, and you Pinky as well, that I'll be there for each and every one of you, and I hope you'll be there for me too. I love you all.
Thank you for your proud of you.